Maybe we ought to get that for a wheel and run special. We might just throw that in the back of the old girl here. I don't know if I can turn around with it. Spotted some goodies. Maybe we can do a wheel and run on both of them. It looks like they just threw them off in the old tree pile here. It's a weed eater and a blower. How about we just grab them? Pretty good material, Craftsman. Matching set. What's going on, people? So this is the weed eater and blower I picked up while test driving the GMC Sprint about a week ago. Haven't had time to get to them and really see what was wrong with them. The Craftsman. And this one is a 4-stroke, 4-cylinder, which I didn't know that until I got to looking at it. But the problem is the pull cord doesn't do anything. I know these little engines can have some good compression, and they probably just was trying to crank it. I think you can get these on a compression stroke and then pull it. That'll help it crank easy, so they probably was just yanking on it. I think it is a 2016 model. Don't have any gas in it. So we know why this one was set out. It's a weed whacker, 30cc. Looks like it's got all the controls. Looks like it might have had a strap on it at one time. Now this one has the multi-tool attachment, so probably some kind of attachment you can hook on here, like a blade or something. I got the braided weed eater string. The guard's in good shape. It's not all beat up. So that's a good weed eater there. I mean, 2016 is really not that old. And this is the handheld blower. It has compression. I don't know if I can pull it with one hand. Let's see if we can pull it. Not too bad. It is a, what model is it? Model, I don't see the year. 2006 is the California emissions. 205 miles per hour. It should have a date tag like the weed eater. The only thing I see is 2006, 26cc. It also has the attachment, I think, where you can put a bag. It should pop up. I don't want to break it. I think you can put a bag on here and it'll suck the leaves. Becomes a leaf sucker. I don't see a year, but it's a Craftsman, and I don't think it has any gas. So either this one just set up and they couldn't get it to run after sitting up over the winter time, or, I mean, it pulls pretty good, like it got compression. Yeah, it says 2006 Husqvarna. Husqvarna Outdoors products. So this is made by Husqvarna. Craftsman just slapped their name on it. But anyway, I guess this one will be the easiest one because the weed eater, we'll have to take the pull cover off and see what's broken there. Maybe we can put a impact on it, put some gas in it, get it to spin over with the impact. I've never had a 4-cylinder weed eater before. I've seen them. I've never even worked on them. I don't too much like working on these small engines like this. But we'll see if we can get at least one of them running today. We'll probably have to order a pull cord assembly for that one. But since this one's 2-stroke, I got some premix already mixed up. So let's guess we can get the air cleaner off of it. Well, I'm not even gonna try and spray nothing at it. Let's just put some gas in it, hit the little primer button, which is still intact. Usually those dry rot and crack. And let's just put some gas in and see what it crank on its own. So I get set up in the stand and we'll see what happens. Alright, so let's put some gas in it. So I already got some pre-mixed, mixed up. So let's put some gas in and just see what happens. Like I said, these weed eaters and blowers, a lot of people have them for a couple of years. They don't drain the gas out of them. The carburetors get all gummed up and they won't crank, and they just toss them on the curbs. Or I have seen a bunch of them. Whoa, kind of overfilled that. That ain't good. I have seen a bunch of them in the salvage yards, and usually it's just a carburetor issue. Unless something like this, they just didn't drain it. I don't know why I don't have any gas in it. Maybe they ran it out of gas. Maybe the gas tank leaks, which I waste gas everywhere. And that's going to just blow up right in my hand. Well, at least we get to see if the gas tank leaks. It could have a cracked gas tank. So this is going to be your turtle and rabbit mode. That's your choke and run, half choke, and then that's the little primer button there. So let's see, can we get some gas primed up? Like I say, usually these little primer buttons, they just rot right off, especially with this new gas they got with the ethanol in them. Ain't primed up there yet. The carburetor might be gummed up. Usually a couple pumps and that might be an issue. Let's just put it on choke and run, and let's just see what it does. It's no throttle, so that's all you got. These things will work you too. Let's put it on half. I hate these ones with no throttle. It's not picking the gas up. So I guess we just need to just pop this cover off, and then we'll go ahead and shoot it with something. Just to see what it at least hit off. Check the firing too. Might be an issue with a fuel line or something. That's why that little primer ain't priming up. Like I said, I used to work on these things a lot. back in the day at a small engine shop, and I got to where I hate working on it. So I guess it's missing a screw right here. So someone's been in there. That's a telltale sign there. Let's just see, is it firing? Let's get a plug and stick it in there. At least we'll know that it's got a spark. With that carburetor screw missing, someone's probably been jacking with it. I don't know. It's got a little spark. The spark plug ain't the greatest. Really needs to ground on something. Thing about these is too, people will not, they will not mix the premix right, lean them out, and they'll burn up. Let's see if it's got spark now. I see a little spark. It's hard to tell on camera. So let's just spray something at it. For all I know, that carburetor might not even be hooked to the gas tank. So we'll pop it off. We'll pop it off and see. It's got a little compression here. She ain't cranking. That's full choke. Ow. Uh-oh. It blew the. Guess we can take that off. See, is it pulling gas up there? It won't pull no gas up there. Let's see what it does now. Definitely a carburetor issue. Yeah, we're gonna have to pull this carb off and see what's going on. It's loose, so somebody's definitely, look at that. It ain't no fuel line on it. I knew it had to be something. The fuel line is not even connected to the. So we're gonna have to pull this whole housing off and get some new fuel line. Maybe they had two, they used this one as a partial one. Let's just see what it runs. I thought it would hit off that. we know it's firing. But we're gonna have to pop this loose here and put some fuel line on it. So let me get this thing up in some more light, and we'll split the cases, see if we can get some fuel line. Alright, so all the screws is basically on this side there. All this, it's a T, what is it? I can't see it. Chrome vacuum. It's one of those, just a regular old star, I guess you call it. Screwdrivers that don't have a size on it. It's got 100 million screws. So let's just speed things up. Alright, so end up having to drain the gas out of it because I had to flip it over on this side so I can get the little cover off. So we're going, I got that to open up. So we'll see what we got here. Going up. It's kind of like the movie Up. So, got all the screws loose, hopefully. Gas drained out. This cover should pop. I've never had one of these apart. Oh man, we gotta take the muffler off. The muffler has to come off. This looks like two Phillips head screws. It's the muffler. That's what's stopping the plastic. Hopefully this comes out pretty easy. I don't know if they, like I said, use this for parts. Is there some other screws in there? Yep. Maybe we don't take that off. I think that's kind of like a silencer or something. It's got two screws all the way back up in those holes. One of them looks rusty. Uh-oh. Like I said, I've never had one of these apart. I might have put a carburetor on one a long time ago, but I've never actually took the cover apart, seeing how it work. So there's the muffler. And I want the screw. Big size muffler. Alright. There's something catching. Oh, it's just some insulation. Man, these screws are just falling out everywhere. Like I say, I've never really enjoyed working on these small weed eaters and blowers. So there's the gas tank right here. So it looks like it just pulls out. So where does the fuel lines go? Something's missing. Fuel lines got to go somewhere. Oops. Anybody? Oh, here we go. There's a hose right there where the fuel lines go into the tank. I think one of them's a return, or one of them's a prime, and one of them's an actual. pickup, or maybe return. So we know the tank goes back in like that, and the fuel line, they run through this hole right here to the carburetor. So we just need to round up so we need to round up some fuel line, and I think I might have some. If not, might have to run down and grab some. I think the ones that like the auto parts store got is a little bit too big, and you have to drill out the tank. Let's see what we got here. I might have some on this Sea-Doo fuel pump. Just looked up there. So this is kind of like what goes on there. But this might not be long enough because it's got to go through that little hole. Nah, that ain't gonna be long enough. It's got to be a real long piece of hose. So let me run up to the parts store, see if I can get some, and then if I can, we'll put the 2 fuel line in there. Hopefully the carburetor is good. I don't know what could have happened to the fuel line. Maybe they pulled the carburetor off and the fuel line ripped, or maybe the fuel line just rotted off. They're not in the tank. Tank looks clean. It's got a little something in there, but let me go get that. I'll come back, we'll put it on and see if we can get it back together. So went down to the local O'Reilly's, and this all they had was just this one package of prime line. It is a 3x32 inside diameter by 3/16 outside. So hopefully this is long enough to go inside the tank and run up to the carburetor. I mean, that's all they had. I mean, these stores these days, I mean, you guys know it's hard to get anything these days. So, but like I said, we're gonna have to drill out these holes here because they're too small. We'll have to drill it out so that can go inside the tank. Ran into this problem before. So let's see if we can find a drill bit. It's a little bit bigger. You don't want it too big because you have a gas leak. It's got to be just right. I don't know why they just didn't put rubber line instead of that plastic stuff. Anyway. Should be what we need. That's part of the plastic line that's in there. It's all deteriorated. That's what happened to it. The lines just rotted off of it. You want it a tight fit when you drill it. So let's see what size drill bit that is. I just kind of eyeballed it. Lines are not as good as they used to be. That is a 5/16. Is that right? No. Yes. No, that is a 3/16. So that's exactly the same size as what the tube is, because it's a 3/16 outside diameter. So I was the first drill bit I touched, right on the money. So you see how tight that is? That's how tight you want it inside the gas tank, because it'll leak. So we're going to just run it all the way down to the bottom of the tank. So I don't know if you can see that, it's at the bottom of the tank. And then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put the tank back in there. It's supposed to have a little rubber grommet that the hose is rested in, so they won't rub, but that's gone. They probably took that out. So yeah, we'll have enough fuel line to go to the carburetor, because we got that much, and the carburetor just bolts right there. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put the gas cap back on to hold the tank in place. Get the carburetor. I think we can detach the carburetor from the cover. And we know the carb goes on like that. You see that? So carb goes like that, and our fuel line, just that one pack is good. So I don't know which one. I mean, they both go in the tank. So we're gonna cut it off right on the nipple there. So let me get something to cut that with. That should be good. I don't know if y'all heard that, but I bet you every time you're watching one of my videos, you hear a car, some kind of car. It's either a Charger or a Challenger. I mean, my street is like the International Raceway. So if you pay enough attention to my videos in the background, you'll hear somebody speeding by. Usually when I'm outside, they want to show off. But anyway, so we got the fuel line ready to go on to the carburetor there. So we got enough length. You can see the line. So I'm gonna take that back off. So we know we got enough for the other side. What was that? Something fell. Something fell off somewhere. Maybe it was the drill bit. Oh. It was the little thing that goes in the muffler. So let's just take the gas tank back off. Pull the fuel line through. And I'm going to drill out the other side, which is 3/16. Same scenario, make sure I don't hit the fuel line that's in there. That would suck. Hit the other fuel line, they have a hole in it. Shake that out of there, make sure there's no trash. And same scenario here. Thread it through, point it down towards the bottom of the tank. We got plenty enough fuel line, so that's good. That one pack that they had in stock. Usually around springtime, all weed eater and lawnmower parts, they sell quick. I mean, you go to Home Depot and get lucky, but small engine shops. So I'm going to cut this the same exact length as the other one because it's going to the carb. I might give it a little extra. Hopefully this carburetor is good. I believe it is. I just believe that the fuel line rotted off and they couldn't get no fuel line, so they gave up on it. So I'm just gonna stick it back on there. Because it's just, it only had one screw holding the carburetor. We can easily put the carb back on. I'm not going to take it apart. I want to see how it runs first. Probably nothing wrong with it. Hopefully, I don't have to short these. I think we're good. Because actually these little carburetors, it acts as a fuel pump anyway. It has a diaphragm in there that pumps the fuel up to the carburetor once you prime it. We'll have to find a long screw. I need to find one that will run through there. For the other side of the carburetor, we're going to have a vacuum leak. Let's see if I can find a screw long enough. I hate they lost that screw. You can't never get lucky these days, can you? That might be too long. So we gotta have a screw this length. I could cut that off before I do that. Let's see if I got one. A little shorter. I don't want to go through it all the way through the engine or go all the way through the intake and crack it. So I'm just going to have to cut this screw off the same length, and I'll find one. Bear with me for a second. Eventually I'll find one. There ain't no sense of making a big deal out of it right now. We just want to hear it run. I've got $5 invested in it. Five-hole smackaroos. It's hard to bear with me, folks. So that's long enough. Hot screw, hot screw. Alright. Back to the carb. Straighten up just a smidget. Like I said, I'll find the right screw to go in there later. Might have to go up to hardware store. But we could just leave this like it is. Once it's oop, you didn't see that. Once it's sealing, so our choke and our throttle. Alright, so I'm gonna flip it back over. And we got to put the little blower thing back on. Make sure the pull cord's got to go. And that notch right there. Where we can get it set. So basically, the only thing this thing has got is just a big fan blade. If you pop that off, you can see this big fan blade, and as it turns, it pushes the air out. And I'm thinking you can put an attachment on here to suck the leaves in. It's like a vacuum. I'm thinking, it's been a while since I had one of these, quote me if I'm wrong, but as the engine turns, it's creating air to blow your leaves or pine needles, dirt, dust, whatever you want to blow. So that's the pull cord, which has got to go around that little pin. This is spring loaded, and that's going to be the tricky part, because the spring has got to wind up. I don't know if I'm ever going to get that back in right. I know it's supposed to spring load somehow. Well, it closes, so we're probably not going to use that part anyway. I don't know how that spring is supposed to wind itself back up in the cover. It's got like a little spring right here, so when you open it, it closes back up, but I don't know what it catches. It's supposed to catch something. I think it just smooshes against the plastic. Oh, I got it. So actually, it just goes against, like I said, the housing. Hopefully it'll stay like that till I put the cover over it. Ah! I knew it was going to do that. I was trying to hold it. That's why I hate small engines. Small engines. It's going to give me the blues. Let me see, can I get the cover on there first? That'll make more sense. Maybe we get a couple screws in it. this something. Okay. Alright, so the cover is back on. What I'm going to do is just put a couple screws in it just to kind of hold it while I wind that up. Hopefully this thing runs. Well, we know it runs. We heard it hit off, but hopefully the carburetor actually runs like it's supposed to. Now we can put, and that's gonna be tricky because I got that screw in there. I think I'm gonna have to take a screwdriver. Why would they make this thing? Almost. Oh man, come on. Can't get this spring to wind back up. Alright. And it went back. Don't ask me how I did it, because I ain't doing it right. Because that keeps popping out of there. I'm gonna just leave that flapping probably. I can't get that spring to line back up. I can get it lined up without the cover on it, but I can't get let me try it one more time. I can't see where the hole is. Bear with me. Should be right at it. Oh, I see what it is. The cover is spreading open. Man, I wish I can see that thing. Why is it so difficult? Yeah, finally, I finally got it. Bet y'all was like, hurry up. Tired of seeing your head. Alright, so you stick a screwdriver in there to open it up. Let me get some screws in there first, because I don't want it to pop back out. You're going to see a red blower get chunked across the room. So how I got it open, just take a screwdriver. Alright, let's get the screws in it. We'll be cooking with grease here in a minute. Put the muffler back on. I don't know why they got so many screws in this thing. Some screws on the ground. I'm surprised I got the coil wire back through there. I wasn't even paying attention to that. So now we just got to put the muffler on. So the muffler's just got 2 screws and a gasket and that little, I guess it's some kind of baffle or restrictor. It goes right in the hole right there. Where's the screw go? Oh, it's in there. I didn't see it sticking out. So then the gasket goes on. Looks like the gasket goes on like, it can't go like that. It had to go like that. Hope y'all learning something. Like I say, it's working on these smaller engines. They can be a real pain. So the muffler flips around like that. Once you do a couple though, it ain't so bad. I don't see too many people rebuilding them. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's some people out there rebuilding these small engines, but these things are mainly just throwaways. That gasket's on backwards. The gasket's got to go the other way. Looks like the gasket actually goes that way. Trying to get y'all into action there. Bump the camera. Alright. Let's see here. goes like that. Well, they got that little restrictor in there. Alright, so now we got the muffler cover. Make sure we got all the screws in there. Starting to look brand new again. I think this screw here, that was screwed out from something. We might have to pop that back off to shoot some at it, but if that primer is working like it's supposed to, we ought to be good. So let's get some gas in it, take it back out there on the little table, see can we get it fired up. I'm gonna go ahead and move it out here. Like I said, hopefully we don't have to take that little cover back off to come with me. Right. And watch. A lot of moving around. Make sure our gas lines are still at the bottom, which they are. That's why the gas leaked out a little bit when I overfilled it, because it didn't have anything in those holes. So let's see what this thing crank up. See what it prime up. Still haven't primed up. It might take it a minute. Let's just see, let's just put the choke on, see what happens. I wish it would prime up there. I think it's starting to. If that diaphragm in there is any good. Okay, let's get some go-go stuff. It forced me to do it. Still not picking no fuel up. It's not picking any fuel up the carburetor. Make sure those fuel lines are down in the gas. I bet this carburetor is going to have to be replaced because it ain't picking nothing up in the primer bowl. Let's try it again. I'm going to turn it down a little bit. This carburetor is not working. Still need a carburetor kit. Spread. Let's try. Take that carburetor apart. That carburetor probably have to be cleaned, gummed up, because it's not picking up any gas. So I'm gonna snatch the carburetor off of there. We'll take it apart, see if there's any trash or bad gas in there. So I went ahead and took the top of the carburetor off and the bottom with the diaphragm. And after I took the primer bulb off, which it goes right on top of there, there's a little screen right here, and as you see, it's got all kind of trash clogged up in there. So that can be stopping our gas flow to the primer, the little push button thing. There's a couple diaphragm up under there. Let's take that off. There's a little primer bowl button, or bowl, whichever one you call it. And that's another diaphragm. I hate to take that off. Really screw up. It's kind of glued on there. I really don't want to take that off. But we know for sure this is clogged up. It's got all that trash, so I'm going to blow that out. Stuff's in there hard as a rock. Blow the whole carburetor out. I knew it wasn't picking up gas for some reason inside of that primer bulb bowl button. So we'll make sure this is clear. I really hate to spray that diaphragm. It's got some trash in it. Actually, it's coming off of there. Got it off. So I say we spray through that too. I tried. Anywhere trash can be at. There's a little needle and seat. I guess we might as well take that out. Watch it, there's a spring up under that little plunger that will fly out of there. Little bitty parts. Little bitty parts. So I get the air blower, air it out. Maybe there's more trash in there. I don't know. I don't really see anything. Let's see if we can put some air to it. I think really with that trash and that little screen, I think that's what the problem is. That's where your gas goes in at. Right there, where the little needle goes. I feel air blowing through it. Air going through that. That's basically it. So now we just stick it back together. Let's see here. That goes like that. Which goes on top of the carburetor like that. And then the little primer thing goes there. I think it's gonna run now. Now that we clean that screen out, 'cause that's what sucks the gas up here to the little button when you press it. So now I got to put the little needle and spring and seat back in. Well, the little needle and spring. This is the tricky part here. Don't require me sitting it down. The little needle, it just hooks. I mean, I don't want to drop it, but it hooks onto the flapper. On a regular carburetor, it'd be a float there. But this one's got just a little flapper, and there's a spring that goes up under it. Micro parts. Man, that thing is terrible putting it back together. I have a lot of people saying, oh, can you look at my weed eater? Can you look at my blower? No. I used to. I mean, they have these carburetors so cheap these days. You can just buy a whole complete carburetor ready to go on. So this diaphragm here, hopefully I put it back together right. Goes with this facing the little metal part, because that's what presses against your needle and seat. I mean I don't know why I keep saying needle and seat. Your needle flapper right here. That little part right there. Make sure it goes inwards. Hopefully this will help you guys out. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of videos out there on how to rebuild a carburetor on a weed eater or a blower. So we're just doing this just to see will it even run. Alright, so it's back together as you see. So I'm going to go put it back on the blower and see if we get that dude fired up. Alright, carburetor's back on. Let's see will it prime up some gas. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's full of gas. So she's going to run. I'm going to turn the choke on. Choke off. Here she comes. Ran for a few minutes. Let's put it on half choke. Don't want to run with the choke off. Check the spark plug too. Trying. We need an electric start. So can I prime it again? Flooded the plug. Let's pull the plug out of it. Woo! Workout. Instead of You want to run with the choke off. Let's be 18. Plug's actually brand new. So I think we're still gonna have some carburetor issues. I might have flooded it. But it is picking up gas in the primer now. She don't want to start now. It's on full choke. Did we lose fire? Almost like we lost fire. Lost fire. Uh-oh. I think it's a dud. I think that was the only run we was gonna get out of it. Let's see if we still got fire. Probably don't. I think it was a turd. Hard to get fire on these because the spark plug has got a ground. Whew, that's kind of warm. I think the blower has took a crap. Electrocuted here. It's got fire, but it's like a real weak fire, like it had at the beginning. One more time. Compression just shot down because the water cooler is strong as it used to. Now, this thing will probably just burn up. Well, that's going to be it on the blower. I think it's just compression that got low. Like I said, it's not as strong as it was. It's firing. It's weak. because it won't even hit off of this, so that means so we'll just leave that one alone. It can be a good parts one if I ever need parts. It's just compression, firing. Like I say, these things are throwaways. It was the reason why, well, I think part of the reason why the fuel line was rotted off, but someone had the carburetor off of it anyway. So we'll just set that to the side. And let's look at the weed eater. Now this one's going to be tricky because the pull cord looks like something came out of it. Speed start. Let's see if we can, it's got an Allen screw at the end of it. Looks like an Allen. Let's try to see if the motor even turn over on it. Oh, it's not an Allen. It's just how it looks. Look like there's a screw missing on it. So someone had it apart also. Let's see if we can get this thing, we can actually work on it. Okay, got it in here now, and we got it up in the air. Now I can actually see what I'm doing. Got kind of warm today, so I got the fan on. I'll cut it off here in a minute. So let's just pull this cover off and see what we got here. Like I say, I've never worked on one of these 4-stroke weed eaters, so it'll be interesting to see. Exactly what we got going here. If the engine's not locked up. The engine could have locked up and broke the pull cord. Let's take this little cover off. That's where the little primer is on here. It's not hard. So. Gas tank's empty. Got 2 screws hidden up under there. Well, I'll tell you what else we need to do. Let's check the oil. Yep, it's got oil in it. It's got oil. Actually, it's got a sight glass on there. Man, they stepped that game up. Got some screws up under here. It's a reason for everything. There's a screw. It's falling off everywhere. What is happening? Okay, there's a pull cord. Ooh. Looks like there's something that's supposed to be connected. It ain't locked up. Yeah, this is destroyed. Something's broke off of there. Pull it close. Right here on this fan, it's supposed to be something that connects into the pull cord housing, but you can see it ain't locked up. There's a line here. I don't know where that goes. That goes to the primer. Is that a vacuum line? Where did that go? There's a hose hanging right here. So I bet you we can probably, we'll have to get the direction right. So we'll know if we hook some kind of, it does have an Allen head. If we hook some kind of drill or something to it, we might be able to spin it fast enough and get it to fire up. But there's a hose right here. I guess that's a breather hose. It don't go in the cover. We'll have to, we don't want that fan to hit it. So I'm just going to tuck it out the way. If this thing runs, then we'll order a pull cord assembly, whatever that does. Like I said, I need to know the engine direction. So if it's on there, and you're pulling it, the engine is actually turning. So it's actually turning. Is that clockwise? Yeah. So we have to turn it that way. And I pull it. So that'll be the direction there. Feel like it's got compression. So the primer situation, we can just put the cover back on. I'm gonna find something to set it up on. Put the cover back on it. Oh, that's the other hose that goes to it, to the primer bowl. Okay, I see it. So that does hook to the cover. There's two hoses that hook to it. So we're just going to put the cover back on it without the pull cord. That way we can have the primer situation. Where's the cover going back? Hold up, the cover's not sitting down. Oh, I see what it is. The hoses are running up in the wrong spot. What's going on here? There it goes. Yeah, put the hoses back on. Man, this is a long weed eater too. just gonna take a guess on where the hoses go, because one of them had popped off. All right. See, can we get this thing stable enough? I have to strap it to the table or something. So we know it goes this way. So I'm going to find, I wonder when my drill turn that over. I have to go get my battery powered impact. Elements. If I got one that size, I think I do. Looking too promising. They put that there for a reason. I guess so you can crank it like that. But I can't find a element to go in there that's going to actually work. Let me go check my other toolbox. I might have found something. And then see what I come up with. Alright, so I tried it with my impact and it just wanted to try and act like an impact. Tighten. So I got my electric drill hooked to it, and if I can get it to catch again. It was actually turning over. Oop. Thinking. Okay, so it's actually counterclockwise. So let's put some gas in it. This is going to be the jankiest thing I've ever done, and I've done a lot of janky stuff. This puts the icing on the cake. Let's put some gas in it. Not too crazy. So what is actually gonna have to happen when this thing cranks? I'm gonna have to, oh man, this is gonna suck. I'm gonna have to jank the drill out of it because it's gonna want to keep turning. I didn't think that through. Let's see if I can prime some gas. Oh, it's primed up. Hopefully it's firing. Switch on. Make sure the throttle ain't wide open. Make sure I got my pulling action ready. I got it on. Let's see. Got a whole bunch of switches here. 3. I'm guessing that's the speed. We don't want to crank up too fast. Hopefully it's firing. Switch is on. No, we ain't going. Oh! It stripped out the socket. The little Allen thing I made. Should have kept going that way. Sounds like to me it ain't firing. I'm just not doing good at this today. I don't know. Couldn't get the spark plug cap off. I doubt I'll be able to turn it over again. I just want to see if it's firing. What is happening? Plug looks wet. That ain't firing at all. Aha, we were going the wrong way. Alright, so now we're going the right way. But that's the way I think that will strip it out. Like I was trying to start it backwards. This thing's gonna crank up and blow sky high. And y'all are gonna see it. She ain't cranking. She's firing. This throttle is. I smell like it wanted to. Almost. She wants to start. She wants to start. I can't. I don't know if the carburetor. The primer again. Running. Don't stick your finger in there though, because it'll be a wrap. It runs. And it runs good. It runs. So this one runs and the blower don't. I was actually going the wrong way at first and then going back this way and right. Finally we know it's got to go clockwise. I need to tighten the spark plug up. Sounds good. So the only thing we got to do now is just order a pull cord assembly. Hopefully I can get that little shaft thing I made out of a socket. It's actually one of those Allen sockets that comes in a set. The spark plug wire is not quite coming off of it. Let's tighten it up. Put that back on. Sounds pretty good. Get the cover back on because it's kind of hot now. I don't like the way that spark plug wire runs. It runs like right next to the intake manifold. It probably gets heat there. Alright, as you see, I went ahead and put the pool cover back on, and it was enough of that Allen, I don't know what you call that thing. It's a hex head shank, I guess. It's actually, I'll show you what it is. It came in this little screwdriver bit set, and it's actually just one of these. It's like an Allen head, hex head, and it goes into, you know, your little bit extension. And I found one and just kind of hammered it inside of the crankshaft, and I got a 3/8 to 1/4 inch adapter. Well, we won't be using that. I just got the little one that comes with it that's supposed to go inside of there. You get what I'm saying. Well, anyway, I got the pull cord back on, which don't do nothing. So we should just be able to switch on. There we go. It's a little fluttery. Runs like a champ. Smokes a little bit. Whoop. So that's how you turn it off. But yeah, she runs pretty good. So the only thing we gotta do now, have to mess the little sticker up. The only thing we gotta do now is just get the pull cord assembly, and it'll be good. Let's see what she crank back up. We'll take it back in here. My drill start. Motor's starting to clear out now. Craftsman Weed Whacker 30cc Weed Eater works. So I will go online and order the pull cord assembly for it, and this thing will be ready to rock. Change the oil in it. It's already got, I guess it's one of them strings that's hard to break. It's made out of metal or something. But yeah, so I hope y'all enjoyed this portion of the video. I'm gonna go online and try and order that, and we'll get that on there and take it out and cut some grass with it. So if I can get it here quick enough, I will just add it all in this video here. If it's gonna take like a week or two to get the parts, I'll just make a separate video. This will be just part one of just getting it going, and part two will be when the part comes in. We get it on and we'll go out and do some weed eating. So the blower was a fail. I hate it because I can really use it in the shop, but like I said, I might play with it some more. If I get it running, y'all be the first to know. But I think compression wise it's not that great, and firing is not that great. So let's see, I can just pull it by I can pull it with one finger. So I think once we got it cranked, that was all she wrote. But anyway, I'm gonna sign off for now. And like I said, if you don't see a part two, I will add everything in one video of parts coming in and everything, and get the weed eater going. So, all right, later. So I'm looking up the pull cord assembly. I'm on eBay. Found one. This is for 27cc weed whacker, but mine's is a 30. So this assembly here looks to be okay on mine. I thought it was something broke or missing. It's basically the same thing. So this guy here has a parts one, but he don't have the pull cord. He has the cover. There's no pull cord. The part we need is the fan looking part that catches the pull cord, recoil thingy, whatever you call it. That's a weed whacker starter pawl parts bin. I don't know what that is. That's 27cc. So I finally found the model number, which he has the model number. I tried to look online, couldn't find it, but he had put the model number on his posting. So let's see, I think I was here and it asked me about a model number. Craftsman trimmer. Diagram and parts list. Okay. There's gaskets, carburetor. Okay, here we go. Number 1, that's the full cover itself. $17. But like I say, I think that part is good. What we need is the part that catches the pull cord assembly. It must be this clutch looking thing here. Electric start adapter. Oh. So that's actually the part we had put the little Allen socket thing in. So this is an electric start adapter, so you can use that to actually start it up electrically with a drill. So you can use it unless you can buy an electric starter for it. That's cool. I'm not too familiar with these 4-stroke weed eaters, but I don't see the part that catches the pull cord. I see everything else. That's the flywheel look like. Clutch. I just don't see it. Let's look over here. Fuel tank. Clutch assembly. Wait, there's another page. Oh, that's just the handle. I don't know. I'm going to have to do some research on it. Because it shows this clutch assembly here. Let's see what that is. That just says electric start adapter. Let's see what 7 is. Pawl assembly. So I'm wondering, does that go on there to catch that pull cord? Maybe that's what is missing. Maybe this piece goes on front of that blade, that fan blade looking thing. It's only $7. That's the only part. I see it right here. It comes off the crankshaft. It don't even show that fan looking blade thing on there. So I'm just gonna have to look on some other sites. I'm gonna save this site though. That's definitely the model number. Let's see. What if, let's put in this model number. I can go back on eBay. Somebody's already. Parts lookup. Okay. Maybe this diagram will show something. Okay, engine assembly, October 2014 and after. General assembly. Let's just look at the engine assembly. Same picture. Here's some parts. Spark plug. Flywheel. At least they give you pictures. Air filter, need that. We don't have one. Some screws. Pawl assembly. That's gotta be what is missing. There's that adapter thing. Electric start adapter. So that thing must screw onto the crankshaft. Yeah, that's it. Because as you can see, you can put a, it's kind of hard to see it. You can put an Allen socket in there. Or Allen wrench connected to something. Like a drill or impact. That's cool. Maybe we just have to electric start it. But I'm thinking this is what's missing. Pawl assembly. That looks like it screws on or something though. That's it. But it's not that fan blade looking thing. Let's see, let's go back. Well, that's engine assembly 2014 and before. General assembly. This is going to be the handle. Yeah, that's just the handle. The throttle parts. At least there's parts still available, but that one piece I'm looking for, whatever on that, whatever connects to the pull cord to make it catch on the engine. And this just don't show. It's oh, that, well, no, that's for the clutch. See, it shows this thing here, the pawl assembly, which goes here on the crankshaft. That's the starter adapter. Maybe, and that's the pull cord. But there's something missing. I don't know. I'll have to just really look, see can I find that part, some information on it. Might have to go to a small engine shop. Let's see. Craftsman. Okay, Sears parts. There's the trimmer. Part name, I don't know. There's a carburetor. Starter adapter. Full starter. The clutch. That's it. I don't know what that part is. I don't know. Maybe somebody put that on there. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to do some checking. So just hang tight, guys, on this weed eater thing if you're interested in finding out what makes it pull start. like I say, if I find the part, I don't want no 10% off. Not now. If I find the part, I'll get it. We can put it on there, but what I see, it don't show that's just the same website. It don't show. Here's a whole layout of parts, but I was hoping somebody on eBay had it. This guy's got parts. Maybe I'll send him a message and ask him, does he have that? I'll send him a picture of mine. I have to take the pull cover back off. So let me see what I can do on my end, and I'll get back with y'all later on it. So alright. So I'm just not finding this part in the parts diagram on different websites. There's something that connects here that grabs onto this pull cord assembly, so when you pull it, it catches the flywheel. Unless there's something in here that's missing. See, there's some springs here though. I don't know what's up with that. But when I look up the assembly, that comes up, but that's actually working. Something's supposed to be connected to here, and there's a pin there, and then it's missing something there. Well, I'm just gonna have to really do some more research on it, see if I can find that. If not, it's just gonna have to be electric start weed eater. But this little piece here is for the electric start. I think this screws off of the crankshaft, and like I said, you can use the bit to hook onto a drill or a I guess they sell some kind of little electric starter for it that you can use. But anyway, like I said, if I find it, I'll get it and get it on there. And but I can use it to weed eat with, so I'm not just gonna really dig too deep into trying to find it. Oh, here's the model number right here. I didn't see it. Maybe the model numbers are different. Huh. I didn't see that model number. His model number might be different from mine. So I'm gonna write that model number down and see if it's the same, which I think is a different. And then we might can find that. So there's still hope. Okay, that model number is a different number than what he had on his. So let's just put this number in. It's got to be something different than those weed eaters. Huh. That didn't come up. 316 73 1973. That's the model number. Let's go back to Sears. 316.731973. Gas trimmer. Alright. There's the engine. There's the blade right there. I see it. It's right here. Two of 16. So what, it comes with the engine? You gotta be kidding me. 34. Why ain't it showing me okay. Thing got oil pan, primer bulb. You mean to tell me that piece comes with the engine? Why is it cut off right here? Oh. That's impossible. It's probably why they never fixed it. It's not showing me the engine though. Let's see. 34. I wonder what this. No, that ain't showing. I'm trying to get to that part. That's number 15, 10, 37, 16. You probably can't even buy that anymore. What shows it is assembly. It's not sure. Oh, here it is. Is that the flap? No, that's the flywheel. It's not even showing that part. The way it looks like on the diagram that you gotta buy the whole engine assembly. Let's go back over here. I don't know why it didn't pop up over here. That must be a 1 year only model. 31673, 1973. Let's see. Seven three 1973. Schematics. That takes me back to the same place. Seven three 1973. Okay, gas trimmer. There's a list of parts. Flywheel. Short block. $106? That's the whole engine short block. That's a cheap engine. And it comes with it on there. So I guess you only can get that with the engine. I'm trying to make it where it's larger. View larger picture. That's as large as it goes. So if you see it, it's right on the end. It's that blade looking thing. It looks like it's got some little springs and some tabs that stick up. And look like the only way you can get that piece is if you buy the whole engine. So that's probably why they just threw it out because the pull cord wouldn't work anymore. That little tab broke off of it, and they just threw it out. But you can electric start it, so that answers my question. That piece must be pressed on or made onto the end of the crankshaft. Let's see if anybody on eBay got one. Let's see. 1. What was that? 6 7 3 1 9 7 3. Craftsman trimmer. Craftsman screwdrivers. Carburetor. That's the head, the weed eater head. This guy here's got parts, but he don't show an engine. And I'm not buying an engine just for that. The weed eater's not even worth it. I mean, brand new engine's $100, but there ain't nothing wrong with that engine. Unless that thing comes off of there, if you pull that electric start adapter off, which I don't think is possible. Somebody's got to have something. Going down. So there's the pull cord assembly there. But let's just look at this. Is that the only picture they got? I'd like to see the backside. You got to be kidding me. Well, I would like to pull start the thing if I'm going to use it. I mean, I can use the drill to crank it, but that little adapter piece there, it'll soon wear out if you're cranking it with a drill. No wonder I couldn't find that piece, because it's on the engine. It's gotta be crank pressed on the engine or made onto the end of the crankshaft. I don't even see an engine. Somebody got like a used engine. We can find like a used engine, but for the money, price of shipping and all that, you can just buy a brand new engine for $106. Where are we at? Here. Oh, somewhere. Well, folks, that's just gonna be it on the weed eater. I'm not gonna really stress about it. Like I say, if I find that an engine with that on there, I'll get it. I'll keep searching eBay, see what I can find, and we'll fire it up and we'll take it out and weed eat with it, and just make sure it weed eats good, which I know it does, and go from there. So that's gonna be the way I see it, because other than buying this engine here, it's the only way you're gonna get that. Well, that's a different model. Buying the engine, that's the only way you're gonna get that blade part. So, alright. So I got to thinking, I went ahead and hooked the compression gauge up to the blower, and I'm only getting like, looks like about 90 psi. Which should be at least 100 to run anyway. I'm only getting 90, so she's weak. I really need to just look up the compression ratio, and that'll give us a real reading. Let's just see here. See what it says. Gas blower compression. Is this a 25 cc? I think it is. Compression ratio is 90 to 100. So it's got 90 psi, which should be enough to run it, but she won't start. It could be due to weak fire. Like I say, it's got weak fire. It says 90 to 100. It's got 90. So I guess it's just due to weak fire. And that's why I quit running. It's not firing strong enough to ignite the fuel. It ran in them few seconds, but I don't know why. What the deal is now. She's trying to crank. I let her sit overnight. I believe I just flooded it. Because it's reading 90 psi compression, so that should be more than enough to run it. I think it's just the carburetor just bad. It's flooding it out. Let's see. Get the start. I don't want to knock the camera down. Here she comes. The old carburetor is bad. I used to have a carburetor. I don't know if I threw them away or I had a couple of weed eater carburetors somewhere. I have to dig one out. Yeah, carburetor. It run with the choke on only. it don't have the screw that's supposed to clamp the tube on there, and it came off. But hey, it runs. I guess we just flooded it. So I'll find a screw and stick it in there, and we'll fire it up again. Probably would help if it had a air filter on it also. It's just a little smoky. I probably got too much premix in it. That's why the weed eater was smoking. Kind of over premixed it. Let's see. There was one screw missing. Maybe that's the screw. Aha. I couldn't really blow because that's too short. The screw came from somewhere. Let's see with it crank again. Like it blew my cell phone down. It's gonna need a carburetor. It's got the little adjustment screws on the front where you can, I think you can change your lean and rich mixture, but it takes a special tool to turn that, and I don't have one. So basically I think it just needs a carburetor because it'll only run with the choke halfway on. So these things are bad about carburetors getting gummed up on them when they sit around. So, but it does run. It finally cranked. I had almost gave up on it. Some told me to do a compression test. It's got 90 psi, which was good enough. And I guess we just flooded it last night, let it sit. And I adjusted the gap on the spark plug, which was too close, and that created more spark. So it was a brand new plug somebody put in there. They just couldn't get it fired up, on top of the hoses being rotted on the gas tank. So we know the blower runs. We'll get the weed eater out and we'll test it out. So I didn't give up too easy. I got to digging and I found this carburetor. This carburetor came off of a leaf blower from a long time ago. That little primer bulb, it is hard as a rock. Well, it's working. I hear it. You can hear it priming the air through. I don't know the condition of this carb, so it looks like the same carburetor. They're basically the same on most of the leaf blowers. So what I'm gonna do, why don't we just stick that one on there and try it. I'm not even gonna take it apart, risk tearing up the diaphragm. We'll see how good it runs. Had to do some thinking about where I seen it last, and that's where I seen it. I seen it in my parts cabinet. You think why I just change that or just leave that on there? I will just, I mean, it's working. I say just leave it on there. That was easy. It's the same identical carburetor. I think this carburetor came off of one of the Weed Eater brands, the green ones, the older types. I don't know if they still sell them. They had a Weed Eater brand, Weed Eater, and then they had the blower. I think they had hedge trimmers. They're basically all the same. I don't remember what was wrong with the blower I took this off of. It might have been just trashed out. Let's see what it prime up any gas. Oh, it just pushed straight in. It's not gonna work. We're gonna have to change that that little primer thing up there. As soon as I pushed in on it, I figured it wasn't gonna last too long. So dry rotted. It's really not that hard to change. It's just 2 screws. And this one's got the easier adjusting air screw settings. You can stick like a little flathead screwdriver in here. Most of them are already set from the factory. Don't break nothing. Oh well, that went that. It's gonna make a mess. Gas running everywhere. Basically all the same carburetors. Just got a different name on them. Different name on the piece of equipment. I should be able to test it right here. Prime the gas up there. I'm hoping I got these hoses on right too, because that can be a problem also. But they both go into the tank, so it really don't matter. So let's maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. I mean, these carburetors are so cheap, you can buy them for $15–20 off of eBay or Amazon. So, but at least we know it's got good compression, and if we had to, we'll just buy a carburetor for it and an air filter, which I think the Weed Eater is going to need an air filter also. Alright, let's see what she does. It's got a different type of carburetor on it. Well, not same type of carburetor, just different. Move everything out of the way because it like to blew everything. So that's choke, throttles up, primed. Ow! It runs. That carburetor has been sitting up probably 3-4 years. Let's see when she restart. Cutting off problem. You're supposed to be able to put it on. Let's see. Stop's supposed to be here. Cutting it off, that's what kind of makes it floods. But that carburetor working way better than the other one. And I didn't even take it apart. So I'm going to find a screw, a long screw to put in the nozzle. Maybe we can rob one of these other screws. I'm going to take that one out. I think all of these screws are too short. You have to find a long screw to go through the nozzle. Keep it where it stays on there. Let's see what I can find. It's got a nut on that end. We just need something just to hold it. Probably put a zip tie or something right there. Oh, I found a screw for it. Supposed to have a nut on the other side. Right up in here. I think I can find one. We're going to do it, doggone it. We're going to do it right. Loosen it up just a little bit. I was going to give up on the old blower. Sat to sleep on it, let it sit. This side takes a regular screw. Never give up. That is 716. Must be 3/8. Hopefully we catch some threads with this one. Oh, she's locked and loaded. Loaded. All right, let's see what she fire up, and we'll go blowing. Let's see. Gas. Either ran out of gas or it blew up. It seize up. Uh-oh. This thing, they grab up pretty high. Still could use a little tweaking, but it does work. So we know the blower worked. So we'll get the weed eater out and do some weed eating. Make sure it works right. And so I guess I can call this a win. A win on the blower. Use it good for just blowing out the shop and blowing down the driveway. So don't seem like it blows out hard enough, but it'll do the job. got a rev limiter on that keeps you from over revving it, so it weed eats, so that's good. Could use better string on it, but it weed eats pretty good. This string is wore out. I think it's supposed to be longer than that. Should be longer than that anyway. Probably have to put just a regular weed eater head on it. Regular string weed eater head. This is some kind of cable or something, nylon. But yeah, so she weed eats. The only problem is starting it. You gotta stick your electric drill motor in there and get it to fire up that way. So that's just gonna be it. That's gonna be the deal with it. Unless I can run across a motor with that piece on the crankshaft, maybe we can get it off of there, but I don't know. Alright, thanks y'all for watching.